Well, hello. I'm Janet Morana, Executive Director of Priests for Life. Welcome to our program. Well, since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the abortion industry has been on a path to bring what I'm going to say is infanticide, late term abortion, to America. Their goal is to make it in every state. And remember, the overturning of Roe brought it back. It said to the people and their elected representatives. Now, that means the states and federally. And the abortion industry is on this warpath of constitutional amendments, taking away the laws that are in some states where they're protecting babies, and abortion till birth, brothers and sisters. And you might say to me, oh, come on, Janet, really? Abortion till birth? Ha! We got proof. Well, joining me today on the program is pro-life leader Frank Pavone, and we're going to get to it right specific with you to show it is happening in America today. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Janet. Good to be with you again. Remember back in the days of the partial birth abortion debate, we were very involved in that, the mid-90s, right? And the other side tried to say, oh, but there's no such thing as partial birth abortion.
Right.
Because our side had created the term in order to really express to people what was happening. It's a partial birth, right? The baby is halfway down the birth canal before the baby is killed, right? So part of the baby is hanging out of the mother's body. Yeah, that's a term our side created. We didn't create the term. We didn't create the reality.
Right.
The procedure was a medical paper from Dr. Martin Haskell, with whom you remember I spoke personally, was circulating around the country and causing all this stir. So eventually that procedure was outlawed through George W. Bush and so forth. Now they're trying the same tactic. Oh, there's no such thing as late-term abortion, because what we're doing on our side to counteract exactly what you just said is to show the American people that they want unlimited abortion.
That's right.
The choice in this election is, look, America, do you want more abortion or less abortion?
Well,
if you want more, go for the Democrats.
Well, we have to make people realize that with partial birth abortion, when that was banned, all the abortionists did was create a different procedure to kill the baby late term.
Yes, that's why there has to be blanket protection,
right,
based on a particular gestational limit.
Right, because they have figured out different ways. So what they do is so everyone understands what happens. They first of all give an injection through the mother's abdomen into the uterus, into the womb, and they do it directly into the baby's heart.
Right.
It's called digoxin.
That's right.
They stop the baby's heart. That's step one. And in the meantime, they're giving the women like something like a laminaria or something to begin the dilation of her cervix, which is premature. Because see, during natural labor, that's what happens. The cervix dilates wider and wider and wider, so she's ready to give birth. So because they're kind of messing up with the birth process, they're going to dilate her cervix artificially, and then what do? They deliver a dead baby.
It's a stillbirth.
It's a stillbirth.
That's why it's a several-day process, which is so ridiculous, by the way, when people say, oh, these late-term abortions are only happening in medical emergencies. If you have a medical emergency, you're not going to use a 4-day process to take care of it.
No, medical emergency means
you're getting in there now.
You've called your OBGYN. He sends you to the emergency room. He meets you there, and he delivers
the baby. Right.
Yeah.
So no, these people don't know. Look, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're banking on the fact that the American people are not going to know what they're talking about, and that's why we're talking about it, so that people will have the facts. The fact of the matter is, by the way, that artificial dilation of the cervix, that weakens the cervical muscle.
Yes, it does.
Which is one of the reasons why abortion leads to
miscarriage later on,
preterm delivery later on,
because
the muscle's been weakened.
Right, because see, right now, maybe she doesn't want to have that baby.
Yeah,
because she thinks, I might lose my job, I might get kicked out of school, and very often they get later in the term, especially with these young girls, because they kind of find out they're pregnant, then they're playing with, I'm afraid to tell someone, I don't know. So the time is ticking, the baby's growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
And then they get to a certain point and they say, I guess I better get rid of this baby. Well, now what they're doing to themselves actually is damaging their reproductive system.
In many ways.
And so later on in life, so many of these girls now, they marry Prince Charming, they want to have children now, and guess what? Multiple miscarriages, and sometimes even some of them have had to have hysterectomies.
Of course.
And so the very time when they want a family, now they can't have it because of the damage done to them during that abortion.
But as you know, as we were preparing for this program, We said, look, we want to help our viewers answer this effort of the other side to say, oh, but the late-term abortions aren't happening. It's not real. We're going to show evidence today, aren't we?
Yes,
that they're
it's
very
real. It's real.
Yeah.
Well, they can go to our webpage, which is priestforlife.org/late-term
Late-term
abortion.
abortion, right.
And what we have there are actual video recordings of people calling these abortion clinics and scheduling appointments beyond 30 weeks.
Yep.
30 weeks and beyond. Healthy mother, healthy
That's
baby.
the point we wanted to make.
Yes,
exactly.
because the Democratic Party and all these people that get up on the debate stage and boo hoo hoo, oh, but we're just helping women who are their health is at risk. They have cancer. They have to have this termination because they won't use the word abortion. They have to have a termination to save their lives, or there's something wrong with the baby.
Yeah.
They'll say it has a deformity, and
Right.
oh, the baby's going to die anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
if the baby's going to die anyway, how is it safer for mother and baby to abort that child? No, you let the baby
Let the baby be born. It's safer for safer for the mother. Yeah.
And better for the mother emotionally, because then she hasn't brought about the death of her own child.
Right.
And then let the medical profession to do everything they possibly can to save her baby. And when God takes the baby, that's when it's time.
That's right.
But it's a natural process, and the mother can grieve naturally for that child.
You don't scar yourself again. I mean,
Exactly.
it's sad. It's a sad enough situation. You don't have to bring more sadness and scarring by deliberately inflicting death on that
Right.
baby. But we commissioned someone, didn't we, to make these phone calls?
Yeah,
and,
we knew it was happening. There are certain states in America here, first of all, where the law, they've put these constitutional amendments, as we know, there's about 12 states now where they can kill babies till birth. And we know there's some of these abortionists that are just despicable. They are killing these babies in 30 weeks and beyond. So let's take a listen to one of these recordings, and let's just see what they say.
Good morning, Dr. Hearn's office. How can I help you?
Yes, I wanted to schedule an abortion appointment.
Okay. Do you know how far along you are in your pregnancy?
Just around 30 weeks.
And when did you find out you were pregnant?
Well, I found out a couple of months into the pregnancy, so I've known about it for a while. And I've been going to the appointments and everything, but my husband and I just split up, and I just don't want to continue with the pregnancy now. So I have like the estimated due date from the doctor and everything, and I have my last menstrual period date too.
Okay.
If you need that.
Okay. Okay. Have you had an ultrasound?
Yes.
Okay. We just need the measurements from your ultrasound, like the BPD and the femur length measurement.
Okay. Let me see. Do I need to call you back with those measurements, or?
Yeah, if you could call us back with those measurements, we can let you know if we can see you, when the next available appointment is, and what the fee will be.
Okay, so the BPD and what else was it?
The femur length. It's abbreviated F as in Frank, L as in Larry.
And it should just be right on the ultrasound that was printed out.
Yeah, hopefully. You may have to call your doctor's office and get it from them.
And what does the BPD stand for?
Biparietal diameter.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me see what I can find out. I'll call you back.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Dr. Hearn's office. How can I help you?
Sure. I called earlier and you asked me to get, I was calling to schedule an appointment. You asked me to get the BPD and the femur length.
Okay, yeah, do you have that?
Yes, I was able to get that. So the BPD was 74 and the femur length was 54.
Okay, and when were those taken?
Last Monday, the 13th, I believe.
Okay. And, let's see here. How much do you weigh?
I'm 180,
Okay, and how tall are you?
5'1".
Okay, and have you ever had a C-section?
No.
No. Okay, can you hold on 1 second?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he said that he would see you on the 28th.
Okay.
And it looks like you'll probably be about 32 weeks at that time. So the fee would likely be either $17,500 or $25,000.
Okay. And so I live in Texas, actually in Austin. I'm guessing I would just fly in to the clinic, and then how long is it?
So your appointment, your first appointment would be on Tuesday the 28th. So you would need to fly to Denver. He does require that you travel the day before your appointment. So he would want you to travel on Monday the 27th. You would have an appointment here Tuesday morning, and then it's a 4-day process. So you would be here in Colorado, staying at a local hotel on that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. And you could travel back to Texas in the afternoon of Saturday the 2nd of December.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Now, first
So-
of all, very basic point. Noticed she was already seeing an OBGYN.
Yes.
That was her regular doctor. She's already been going to that doctor for several months. Suddenly, her and her husband have an argument. They break up. Okay. And how come she didn't go back to that doctor for a termination?
Right, for a
abortion.
procedure that's between a woman and her doctor. She didn't know Warren Hearn from the Man in the Moon.
No.
Yeah.
So why didn't, first of all, she lives in Texas. That's where her OBGYN was.
Yeah.
And now she was going to fly to Colorado to kill this baby. I mean, none of that makes sense.
Yeah.
None of that makes sense, because this is the doctor you've been seeing for the past few months. Trusted doctor, obviously. So if this was an okay procedure to do, well, no, you can't kill a baby that late in term at the time in Texas.
Well-
now you can't do it at all.
Well, not only that, but did her OBGYN, who knows her medical condition, who knows the medical condition of the baby, tell her that she had to end the pregnancy for medical reasons?
no.
No. It's completely non-medical reasons.
Right,
It's
so this
not a medical procedure,
Right. So perfect, healthy mother,
right?
perfectly healthy baby.
Right.
Because they had an argument, her and her husband, they're going to kill
Social-
the baby.
Social problem, not
Yeah.
medical problem.
Not medical.
Social. And notice, they said it right out. 32 weeks. You're going to be 32 weeks along. So again, our main purpose here is to say, to those who are going to try to claim abortions, late-term abortion is not a thing. It doesn't happen that late.
Right.
But how do you explain what you just heard?
Well, then also too, if it doesn't happen, then why is the abortion industry and the Democratic Party pushing legal abortion till birth
Right.
if it doesn't
Right.
happen?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to have laws allowing you to kill a baby at the 9th month of gestation and
Right.
the pregnancy?
By the way, the survival at that point, if they just induced a preterm birth, the survival is very, very, very high for those babies.
of course it is.
Even 10 weeks before that.
Well, and the other thing too is, if she just delivered the baby, and let's say her and her husband said, we don't want this
Make
kid.
an adoption plan.
They don't even have to make an adoption plan. The safe haven law, she could just
That's
walk
right.
away.
That's right.
Walk away.
The safe haven law means you have designated places according to state law, varies
Right.
from state to state,
Right.
where you can literally drop off that baby.
At a fire station
No
or
question,
a hospital.
no questions asked.
But she could
yeah.
go to the hospital and deliver
Right.
the baby.
Deliver the baby
and walk out.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? I decided I can't parent.
But did you notice too? This is a 4-day procedure.
4 days.
Yeah.
And did you hear the price tag?
How about that? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have $25,000 here in my pocket.
Yeah. Where's she going to come up with all that money? None of it makes
$25,000.
sense. So you're going to spend between $17,000 and $25,000 to the abortion clinic. Oh, plus she has airfare,
Hotel.
4 nights in a hotel.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to just give birth to this child and give it up for under safe haven even? It doesn't make sense. But what it shows you is the extremeness of the Democratic Party and the abortion industry, that they are pushing these constitutional amendments like they are, which the one that's coming up in Ohio right now, this election cycle, to try to they're going to undo the will of the people in Ohio that has good protections for the unborn. They have a heartbeat bill, parental consent. It will wipe all those bills out and allow them to kill babies like this till birth. It's terrible.
It'll allow that scenario we just listened to happen all over Ohio.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and just so that they know, this is not just one little incident we played for you. You can listen to a heck of a lot more at priestforlife.org/late-term abortion. But we do have another one.
Yes.
I
yes.
want you to listen now to this other one, because, to me, one's worse than the
And then pay attention again to 3 things. the gestational age,
Right.
and healthy baby, healthy mother. Listen for those things.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Southwestern Women's Options, this is Georgia. How can I help you today?
Yes, I needed to schedule an abortion.
Okay, do you know the first day of your last normal period?
Yeah, it was back in October 8th of 2016.
October 8th. Okay. And have you had an ultrasound done?
Yes, I have.
Okay, beautiful. And do you have you had any, is this your first pregnancy?
No, it's not.
Okay. Any C-sections in your past?
No.
Okay. And where are you calling from?
I live in Farmington.
In Farmington. Okay. So let me go ahead and get you to a scheduler. What is your first name?
Denise.
Denise. Okay, hold on one moment, Denise.
Okay.
Outpatient abortion services, and the first clinic to use IV sedation. Today, Dr. Boyd and his medical staff remain personally committed to providing medically safe and emotionally supportive care, including pre-pregnancy testing, confidential individual counseling, medical abortions, and surgical abortions in all trimesters. We also offer the morning after prescription and IUD insertion for eligible patients at post-operative checkup. Thank you for...
This is Susan. How may I help you?
Yes, I wanted to schedule an abortion appointment. I just gave Georgia my information. I'm going to be coming down from Farmington.
Okay. Can you tell me, do you have a BPD measurement or a due date?
I have the due date is July 15th.
Okay, so, yeah, almost 30. Is there anything wrong with the fetus?
No, there's not. It's more just life happening. My husband lost his job. We already have some kids, and we're planning to continue the pregnancy. But now, with our world falling apart, we just felt like this was the best way out.
I would need to take some information and take this to the doctor to see if she would accept you as a patient.
Okay.
Hold on a moment. Okay, let's see. What is your name?
Denise Chavez.
Date of birth?
8/2/91.
Right. And how old are you right now?
26.
Have you ever had a C-section?
No.
And you have how many living children?
2.
How many times total have you been pregnant?
2.
3 with this one?
Yeah.
Have you had any previous abortions or miscarriages?
No.
Okay. How old is your youngest child?
2.
Do you yourself have anything going on medically, like asthma, diabetes, high blood pressure?
No.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'1".
How much do you weigh?
150.
Okay. Do you have any allergies to any medications?
No.
Are you currently taking any medications for any reason?
No.
Have you ever had any surgery in your past?
No.
Do you smoke?
No.
How do you describe your alcohol consumption, if any?
None.
Okay. Do you use any recreational drugs?
No.
Okay. Have you been getting prenatal care for this pregnancy?
Yes.
Okay. When is the last time you went to the doctor?
It was about a month ago.
Do you have commercial insurance or New Mexico Medicaid?
Yeah, it's New Mexico Medicaid.
New Mexico Medicaid? Okay. Okay. So this was originally a wanted pregnancy?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what's happened in your life now. I know you said that your husband just lost his job.
Yeah, he lost his job, and so, that really, we're already struggling to make it as it is, and so obviously that puts a strain on the marriage and everything else, and now with the prospect of another child coming along, it's just really weighing heavily on us, and adding unneeded stress. So we kind of asked around, and people just recommended maybe calling you guys as a means to help with the situation. Certainly not something that we were planning for, but you know, life happens.
So I think that's all I need right now. She's here, so I'm gonna take this to her. Okay. So let me tell you also a little bit about the procedure that we do here. This will require you to be in Albuquerque from a Monday night through a Friday evening. It's a procedure of termination by induction. So we actually would start on Tuesday morning. We will take a day or two to soften and dilate the cervix, and then we will induce labor. So you will be going through the act of labor and delivery of a stillborn fetus. We will euthanize the fetus on the first day. And again, you need to be in Albuquerque during that time. Well, the doctor accepted you as a patient. We'll be scheduling you for Tuesday next week. So we'll be starting on the 9th.
And the Medicaid that I have covers all of it.
Do you have Medicaid you can go for any reason at all? Any kind of medical attention, or is it limited to family planning, or do you know?
I think it's for anything.
Okay, let's check it real quick, okay?
First of all, again, she had a regular OBGYN.
Yeah. Right.
She had 2 healthy children, and because her husband lost his job, they're going to kill this baby. That's over 30 weeks.
And you notice how healthy she described herself as?
Yeah.
Doesn't even take any medicine for anything, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke.
Right.
It's a picture of health.
Right. Healthy girl. And notice she's in New Mexico. She lives in Farmington, where her doctor is, her OBGYN.
Yeah.
She's not going back to him and say, I want a termination.
No,
She's
go
going to
the quack.
Albuquerque
Go to the
to
quack.
this abortion clinic to
Yeah.
kill the baby. You're killing a perfectly healthy
30 weeks
baby
along.
for social reasons.
Yeah, 30 weeks along. Yeah.
And she's already on Medicaid. So now it means your tax dollars are paying for this abortion. Point number 1. But point number 2 is, how do you know that next week your husband's not going to get a job? You know,
Well,
like
see,
you're
that's
killing
right.
a baby because of some financial services. Well, first of all, there's 3,000 pregnancy centers all across the country that would help her.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, there's all kinds of resources out there. She's already on Medicaid. There's first of all, there's the WIC program, Women, Infants, and Children, where they give them free formula for the first year.
Yeah.
They give them other nutritional checks. So, you know, it's to buy food, certain products. She's already on Medicaid, which means she's probably on food stamps. Like, you're getting all this assistance anyway, and now you're still going to kill this baby. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
It's the insanity of this. Well, again, this counteracts 2 lies from the other side. Late-term abortions don't happen, or if they do, it's only for extreme medical emergencies of the mother of the child. This disproves all of that.
Well, both of these
And-
circumstances that we just listened to
Yeah.
were for social reasons, right?
Completely social.
For complete. Oh, my husband and I broke up, and my husband lost his job. Social reasons, nothing else. There was nothing about her health or the health of that baby.
Now, the question is, do people want what we just heard legally to occur in America? People want that to be legal, or is that too far? Because even most people who identify themselves as pro-choice, even most people who identify themselves as Democrats, don't want that, what we just heard, to be a legal option.
That's
and,
right.
and that's what's at stake in these elections now. The Democrats want that to be a legal option, not just in New Mexico or Colorado, which is where we heard these 2 phone calls just now. We have lots of others at breachforlife.org/late-term abortion, but they want that to be the norm nationwide.
Nationwide.
Because they
That's
say,
right.
well, the freedom of choice is above everything. Doesn't
Right.
matter if the baby's 30 weeks, 32 weeks, healthy or not. Doesn't matter to them. Their dogma is, I want to choose to end that pregnancy, I can end it.
Well,
Period.
and just recently, the Republicans had that debate and they were pushing that whole question again about gestation. Like,
Yeah.
would you be in favor of heartbeat or
Right.
or 15-week ban? And they pointed at DeSantis because, he signed those two
He signed
laws.
both of them. That's
Both
right.
of
We
them.
were with him.
Yes, in Florida. And DeSantis gave the perfect response. He said, no, I'm about protecting babies. And he said, you know what? It's the Democratic Party. He said, they want to
Yes.
kill
You
babies till
got it.
birth.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
he said, and that's called infanticide. I was jumping up and down.
That's
I
right.
said, oh, finally, someone is hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah.
They want infanticide. And that's why right now we have to train our guns on Ohio. Ohio for this election season. It's already October. October 11th is election day
Yes.
in Ohio because that's the day of early voting. You're not going to wait till November. No, October 11th. And what's at stake? There is an amendment that they're trying, the pro aborts and the Democratic Party, to amend the Constitution of Ohio to say we can kill babies till birth without parental consent of a minor. Okay, so your daughter could be taken for an abortion without you knowing. And then also, they're also pushing the whole transgender thing that you're a minor child could be taken for the drugs and eventually surgery without a parent's permission. So this law, constitutional amendment in Ohio, is horrible, and it takes away all parental rights, and it will wipe out. Ohio already has parental consent and a heartbeat law, so it will undo the
Well-
beautiful laws that the state legislature already passed and the governor signed.
You see how cowardly these pro-aborts in Ohio are, and throughout the nation who are supporting that effort.
Right.
Because when I say cowardly, why don't they just introduce a bill?
No, because
I mean,
the bill requires debate and discussion.
Exactly.
And
Why don't
testimony.
they? You want that? Okay. So you want that to be the policy in America. Now, actually, the Dobbs case that reversed Roe
Right.
would allow the people to decide that that's the policy they want. The Dobbs case doesn't say you have to protect the babies. But why are these pro-aborts going for a constitutional amendment instead of just introduce a bill and give the legislators and give the people an opportunity to do what you just said? Debate it, examine it, play tape. You have a debate about that? We play tapes like this
Well, see,
and
the
say, is this what you
point
want?
is they know if you bring about a debate on the floor of any state house on late-term abortion, it's undefensible.
Right.
You can't justify it
People don't support it.
because, and if you talk to, do you notice both of those women did not go back to their OBGYNs? Why? Because those, even though they can kill babies late term in New Mexico and Colorado, a normal practicing good conscious OBGYN will not do
It's
that.
not medically indicated.
It's not medically
This is what our
indicated.
friend Dr. Philip Ney always says. He says the first thing to ask about an abortion is what's the medical indication for it?
Right.
But these are not medically indicated, what we
No.
just heard.
No,
Yeah.
social reasons. So now with Ohio, we really have to ask everyone. It doesn't matter whether you live in Ohio or not in Ohio. You might know people, friends and family who do live in Ohio. So your homework assignment is get on the phone and tell them to vote no on this constitutional amendment that's on the ballot in Ohio starting October 11th. Well, our friends in Ohio, pro-life leader Mark Harrington and his group Created Equal created a commercial to really shine a bright light on why they have to vote no on this amendment in Ohio.
Yes.
Let's take a look at that commercial right now.
My birth mom was a scared teenager when she was forced into a late-term abortion. Because of a doctor's mistake, I survived, but my twin did not. I was left broken and hurt. Late-term abortion is real, and so is the pain. But the pro-choice industry wants it right up to birth. Abortions that are too late, too painful, and too extreme for Ohio. Will you stand for victims? Please say no to late-term abortion in Ohio.
Very clear.
Nicely
very
done,
clear.
nicely done.
So I think our homework assignment is very clear. Let everyone you know in Ohio to begin voting October 11th. Vote no on this amendment because it's pretty obvious that, first of all, the citizens of Ohio have already spoken. They want to protect babies with a
They
heartbeat.
passed a heartbeat bill there. I mean,
Yes.
see, this is what the other side is doing is they don't care about the will of the people.
No.
They want to impose abortion on demand.
Mm-hmm. And the language of the amendment is very tricky. And we also know, let's face it, when most people go to vote, they don't even clearly read all the amendments. You ever
Of
notice
course,
what
no,
goes on?
I call it soundbite voting. They
Yes.
they heard one thing from their friend,
or they read the first
on
sentence.
TV.
They
Yeah.
read the first sentence and go, should I say yes or should I say no?
Mhm, mhm.
And that's how they slip these amendments past the people,
Yeah,
because they really don't understand. And they use all this fuzzy language about women's reproductive health
Yeah.
and postpartum care and miscarriage care. All that's lingo is jumbled in there. But when you read the whole thing, it's also late term abortion and
Yeah.
taking away parental rights. So thanks for the great discussion. I
great
hope
discussion.
we have woken up some people. And brothers and sisters, I hope you have been woken up too. October 11th, start voting no in Ohio. And remember, there are some abortions only you will be able to stop, and some lives only you will save. Join us again next time. Thank you, and God bless.
Where does this love begin? In our own family, in our own home. How does it begin? By praying together. Family that prays together stays together. And if you stay together, you will love one another as God loves each one of you. Today, in the world, there's so much suffering because of that one of prayer, of unity in the family. So today, when we are together, let us make one strong resolution that we will bring prayer in our family, that we will teach our children to pray and pray with them. And you will see the joy and the love and the peace that will come into your hearts. Because the fruit of prayer is the deepening of faith. And the fruit of faith is love. And the fruit of love is service. And the fruit of service is peace. Works of love are works of peace. That is why let us bring the tender love of God in our families.
Submit your prayer intentions. Obtain Mass cards and a relic card at prayerintentions.org.